Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and our honored guests. It is my pleasure today to introduce to you Ryan Pomeroy. Ryan Pomeroy is here because he is the 2010 winner of the District 3 Youth Leadership Award, which means among youthful Toastmasters, he is the best of the best. And let me tell you just a little bit about Ryan. Ryan is 13 years old. He'll be in 7th grade in just a week, I guess, at the Mojave Middle School in Scottsdale. He's been in the Youth Leadership Program for 2 years with Mike DeServo, who is sitting in the back. Mike, wave. I know you will enjoy his presentation, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. Our speaker for today, Ryan Pomeroy, 3 cups of tea. 3 cups of tea, Ryan Pomeroy.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Ladies and gentlemen, 7.2 million. That is how many children that Greg Mortensen and the Asia Central Institute have helped educate. Mr. Mortensen's mission is to promote peace, one school at a time. He believes that education will prevent terrorism, which is why his book has made such a huge impact on many different people. 3 Cups of Tea, a book by Greg Mortensen, is about how one person can change the world. This story has touched many lives in this country and abroad. It is about a man who attempts to climb K2, the 2nd highest mountain in the world, in honor of his sister. When he fails to reach the summit, he miraculously stumbles into a village that changes his life forever. I chose this topic because I wanted to know if one person really can make a positive difference in the world. I was also curious to know if education really does stop terrorism. Terrorism is a real threat in our world today, which is why this topic is so important. Greg Mortensen was born in Minnesota in 1957 and has assisted millions of children in receiving an education. He grew up in Tanzania, where his father co-founded the Kilimanjaro Christian Medical Center, and his mother founded the international school, Moshi. Since his parents were so devoted to helping other people, it rubbed off on him. When his sister died of a massive seizure, he attempted to climb K2 in her honor. He failed to reach the summit when a fellow climber became sick, and they had to escort him back down the mountain. He then ventured to summit again, but had to turn back because of exhaustion. On the way down, he became lost and almost died because of starvation, freezing temperature, and exhaustion. But he miraculously stumbled, half dead, into a village called Corfu. The people in the village nursed him back to health. They taught him that when you drink 1 cup of tea, you are a stranger. 2 cups of tea, you are a friend, and 3 cups of tea, you are family. When he was capable of walking again, he noticed children doing their homework in the sand with sticks. There was no teacher available because they could not afford his daily fee of $1. Then, when a little girl came over to him and asked him to make a school for them, he promised he would, and he delivered. He built a school there, and then went on to build 78 schools and educate 7.2 million kids. Building 78 schools in Pakistan and Afghanistan was complicated. Mr. Mortensen's efforts were plagued with constant trials from tribal leaders, but he endured and is thrilled that he did. Greg Mortensen believes that education will prevent terrorism. He says that you can build roads, put in electricity, or drop bombs, but nothing will change until children are educated. A saying he acquired in Africa is, if you educate a boy, you educate an individual. If you educate a girl, you educate a community. When a woman's sons go into a holy war, they have to get their mother's permission first. Otherwise, it is considered shameful and a disgrace. The reason a terrorist group stopped girls from being educated is because they were afraid that when she grew up, she would turn her sons against terrorism. This is why education is an effective tool for countering terrorism. The book, 3 Cups of Tea, has made a huge impact on many diverse people. For example, many people who have read the book have become motivated to go back to their native, underdeveloped villages to educate the children. Also, many people have donated money to the Asia Central Institute and Pennies for Peace. Pennies for Peace is an organization started by school children to raise money for Mr. Morrison's cause. People really do want to make a difference in the world. In Afghanistan in 2000, there were only 800,000 school kids. But now, there are over 7.2 million kids, which is the greatest increase in school enrollment size in history. 3 Cups of Tea is about how one person can change the world. Greg Mortensen has triumphed in promoting peace, so I challenge you to do the same.
Going to embarrass you a little bit. First of all, I'd like to present you with this Fishtails luggage tag. Has information about us, so when you get older, you can come back and join the club. We'll make our bid for him. The other thing is, we have some people who wanted to ask you some questions. Is that okay? Sure. Anybody have any questions for our speaker today?
What is it that you exactly started Toastmasters?
5th grade.
5th grade.
Yes.
And was this a youth group separate from Toastmasters you went to, or was it offered to you in your school?
No, it was offered to us in our school. Toastmaster Night comes for 5th and 6th graders, and we have the Toastmasters speak off, and the best in each class compete against each other, and then the winner wins.
That is wonderful. So you have other students in your school too that participate in Toastmasters
Yeah,
voluntarily?
every 5th and 6th grader participates in it.
Wow, that's good.
This is the Youth Leadership Program. Mike DeCervo has been our coordinator for many years and is known to generations of kids as Toastmaster Mike.
Yeah.
So that's the Toastmaster Mike we're talking about. Do we have any other questions? Yeah.
Would you like to visit the area where his book takes place? Does that pique your interest, or do you travel?
A little bit. We travel a lot. I've just never been there, so I kind of do want to just head over to Pakistan and Afghanistan just to see the schools and to see the children, what their reactions are to this.
I was just going to ask you because they said that you were a little shy when you started the program.
Yeah.
What was it about the program that helped you the most, that really helped you be able to write and speak? What is it about the program?
Competition of facing other kids. I'm not a good loser.
Oh!
Okay. Other questions? Rob?
Well, there's 7.2 million kids that Greg Mortensen educated, all in the Pakistan area, Afghanistan area.
Yes, all of them were in the same area.
Wow.
Any other questions? Gloria?
Ryan, Mike invited you to come back and join us when you're old enough to be a member of an actual club. Do you think that's something that you'd be interested in, continuing in Toastmasters later in life?
I think so. Maybe not right away because I'm planning on going to college, but when I'm done with my work, then yeah, probably will.
Thank you.
Okay. Sean?
That story was about persevering in the face of extreme odds.
Yeah.
Have you had any of those kind of experiences? Or anything that you thought that story enabled you to come to grips with in a better way to win?
Luckily, I haven't had to face extreme loss. And I don't think this story helped that much except with my speaking ability, because I improved once I started to learn about this topic with my speaking, but other than that, I don't think there was much else.
Any other questions? Let's give one more big round of applause to our speaker, Ryan.